Again, welcome back to New Day. And of course, as you saw, it's Health Club, and we're talking about sickle cell. And, the World Health Organization says that, it is common in West and Central Africa. And as many as 25% of the people who have sickle cell traits and 1 to 2% are all babies. And I have two medical doctors with me in the studio. They're not only medical doctors, they're also persons living with sickle cell. How have they managed? Or they will tell us about it, and also how they intend to help spread the word and also reduce it if they can. I mean, with your support, of course. Let me introduce Dr. Sefako Ennam Bankas. She's the founder of Sickle Life. Doctor, good morning to you and welcome to the show. And also Dr. Anemana Anthony Vorodam. Doctor, good morning to you as well and welcome to the show.
Good morning.
I want to start from the fact that, both of you are living with the sickle cell disease. How is that like for you?
It's quite challenging.
Yes.
Because sickle cell disease is a chronic condition.
Yeah.
So you have frequent crises. There are lots of things that limit you. So for example, you're not supposed to be in cold temperatures. You're not supposed to
So our temperature, before you can, is our temperature good for you?
It's
or
okay.
It's too cold?
It's quite cold, but we'll manage.
Okay, we'll turn the temperature in the I think we should reduce the AC in the studio. All right, go ahead.
You're not supposed to do like extreme physical activity.
Okay.
And it's just a lot of things precipitate crisis. If you are dehydrated, you have pain. So living with sickle cell disease, you realize that several times the person will be unwell, would miss school, miss work. So it makes it challenging. But then the thing is with proper monitoring and care, you're able to live a normal life and a relatively healthy life. So it's been okay.
And you went to medical school, is it 6 or 7 years?
6 years.
6 years. Okay. You went to medical school. How was that like for you? How many times did you have to come home or stay in school? Do you remember?
It was difficult. It was very challenging because, as we all may know, medical school is really challenging. There's a lot of long hours standing. So yeah, there were a number of times where I had crises, even for my final exam.
Oh, wow.
The night before one of the papers, I had a crisis. So I had to be on admission to be given drip, like IV fluids, painkillers, and then go to the examination center the next morning to rise. But fortunately, I passed, so let's thank God for that.
All right, but I just want to take you back a bit. When you say you have crisis, what exactly happens to your body?
Okay, so sickle cell disease affects the red blood cells, which are basically cells that carry oxygen around the body.
Sure.
Now, every part of your body needs oxygen to function. Sure. So when these sickle cells, which are cells that are not the normal shape of red cells, which is a biconcave disc, it becomes sticky and hard. So it blocks different vessels.
Oh.
So now when these vessels are blocked, depending on the part of the body that is blocked, you may have different symptoms. So say it blocks vessels to your arm, that means you're not getting enough oxygen to the affected parts, and then waste products are not taken back. Okay. So then it causes pain, which is a normal response to lack of oxygen in the body. Okay. So it could have a blockage in your eyes, something we call retinopathy, and it may lead to blindness. It may happen in the brain.
Wow.
So you see little children, 2, 3, 5 years, having multiple strokes.
Yeah.
It may happen anywhere. It can happen in the hip bones.
All right. We'll come to that.
Called avascular necrosis.
Like, we'll come to more details of that. But I want to get to Dr. Anthony Vorodam here, and you also share with me what your own experiences are or have been like. Somebody living with it. How long have you been living with the sickle cell?
It's a genetic condition, so you are born with the disease. So
you were born with it?
Yeah, so I've pretty much known that I have had sickle cell since way back.
When did your parents tell you that you...
that would be after around my first illness in primary school, around that time, yeah. But basic school was pretty much normal for me. It was less stressful because basic school you close earlier and go home. Yeah. But secondary school presented a bit of a challenge. I developed a complication of my hip bone, avascular necrosis, so I had to use clutches for a while.
Wow.
I was in senior secondary school, but by the grace of God, I'm far better today.
Yeah, you didn't come in with clutches. That's the good news. You didn't come. So what happens? Does your body heal then? How does it work? Explain to me. I don't understand anything.
The complications, as you said earlier, can be managed.
Sure.
Yes. And so when I had the avascular necrosis, I had surgery for my hip. It's like what happens is that the blood supply to the head of the femur is blocked.
Okay.
And as a result of that, the head of the femur dies. So because of that, usually surgery can be done to replace the hip bone, and so the person can walk back normally.
So is that what happened to you?
At the time I had the surgery, usually they prefer to replace the hip bone after the person is over the age of 18, because the person below 18 is still growing. And so if they replace the hip bone at that particular point in time, it affects how the person grows, the final height, the dead bone, and the hip replacement has been planned for a later date.
It happened
when I was in my second year.
What do you remember how old you were? Because you were not 18 then? I
was around 16.
16, okay. 16, all right.
Yes.
And were students understand? Did they know what you were going through?
The close friends to me knew, but those around, they just saw someone walking around in clutches. I don't think many of them would have understood at that time.
But did they understand? Because students can be very mean, especially when they don't know what they think everything is funny. Did they understand? Were they accommodating?
They were accommodating.
All right, thank you. For you as well, were you picked on in school? Did you have to go through that?
I did only a year of boarding school in senior high school because I was frequently falling ill. I would get admitted, discharged, go back to school, and then in a few days I'd be admitted again. So it was after about a year, we decided it wasn't worth the stress. So then I should just come back, I should come from home. So yeah, that was it. But it was a hard time. But I think if you have a good support system, it helps a lot, because there'll be missed lectures, there'll be exams that you may not be too well. So then you have to have people around you who understand what you are going through and are willing to assist you.
So who was closest to you? I mean, I'm sure your mother will come in there. Did you have extra help apart from mother?
Yes, my mom, my colleagues, friends from church. Yeah, basically them. Even in senior high school, when I was in the boarding house for a year, I had this one teacher who was willing to provide warm water in the mornings, because as I said, the cold weather. So then that was really great, because cold can precipitate crises. So then that was really helpful. But
so how long can you stay, let's say, in a place that is so cold like our studio? How long can you stay in it?
I don't think there's a definite time limit to it.
But do you know when you have to go out? Does your body tell you? Do you react to that?
Well, the thing is best to avoid precipitants. So you know not to be there.
Fall into a crisis. All right. How about you as well? Same support system?
Yeah, my parents. I also had
mom and dad?
Yeah, mom and dad. I also had teachers in senior high school who were also willing to provide support. Family members, friends, close friends, they've all been supportive.
And you're volunteering for Sickle Life, which you founded, right? Why is it important for you to tell the story of, persons living with sickle cell? Is it that there's a lot of misconception? What are those misconceptions, and how can you help?
There are a lot of misconceptions about the disease. In certain areas, people believe that maybe it's a fault of one parent, it's a fault of another. People think that there are spiritual causes of the disease and witchcraft and other things like that. So we want to tell our story, because if with proper care and support and a proper support system, the condition can be managed. And the person can live a fairly normal life. And so we want to tell the story.
How you? I mean, the idea behind Sickle Life and what you'll be doing, I think this month, 19th of June, right? So the idea behind it and what you'll be doing on the 19th of June.
So beyond what he has said, sickle cell disease is preventable. It's about education, telling people that it can be prevented. It's about testing people so they know their genotypes and understand which. The genotypes are like A.
That's when you say this person cannot marry that person.
So it's quite complicated, but it can be simplified. So if we educate people, we test them, test their partners, then we counsel them on the options that they have. So that's what Sickle Life does. We empower people to make informed decisions about sickle cell disease. And often people don't really understand what sickle cell disease is. They've heard about people having pain, often people being on admission. So we try to share stories about people living with sickle cell disease through our website. It's sicklelife.org.
Sicklelife.org. So you're on Facebook and Twitter. It's Sickle_Life. Is that it?
Twitter, Instagram is Sickle_Life. Facebook is just Sickle Life. So then we are telling you our life, our experience, so that when you are with somebody, you've been dating for a number of years, and then eventually you are going
to marry. You should test before.
Yes, you should test like way ahead of the wedding ceremony or engagement. Because when it's at that point, it becomes so difficult. So that's what we are trying to do.
Okay.
Empower people on a day-to-day basis so that they are informed early, so that they don't have to wait till when they're about to get married and then they get tested and then now they're in a dicey situation. So what we are trying to do on June 18th, World Sickle Cell Day is June 19th, which is a Sunday this year. So we are doing it on June 18th, is to have a free sickle cell testing.
Okay.
And for us, we are doing both sickling and HB electrophoresis. Sickling test is what is routinely done, a screening test which will tell you positive, negative. Okay. And what that means is, if you're positive, you have S, which is one of the HB genotypes. You have S. And if you're negative, you don't have an S. Unfortunately, there's also C, which is quite common in our parts of the world. So then the sickling test on its own is not adequate enough. So we are going beyond that to do an HB electrophoresis, which is a more expensive test, and then most people shy away from it because when they get sickling negative, which may not necessarily mean that they are AA, then they don't test. So we are doing both. Then we'll offer counseling so that beyond testing.
Is it free?
Yes, for now it's free.
Okay.
We are fortunate to be sponsored by the Vodafone Ghana Foundation, Specialized Blue Skies, and then Medina.
Oh, with the Vodafone Foundation?
Yes, please.
They sponsor the program, so you can mention that. Yes, that's good, the foundation.
Yes. So then we are doing it for free because what's the point of empowering people, of educating them if they can't do the test?
All right.
Because that's where the information is. And also we have a blood donation exercise at the venue because...
So you test before the people donate?
So it's a different setups. The test, you not get the results immediately.
Okay.
But then there are different stations for different things.
Okay.
So there'll be blood donation and then there'll be testing and counseling.
Okay.
Yes. So
I think it's good. It's good that you get to know. So if you have, it means you can't marry someone who is what? Is it how does it work?
It's not that you can't marry.
Okay.
It's not.
Explain it to me. You see, explain it to me. So we're not alarmed.
Everybody's free to make their choice. Yes. Typically, it's preferable if two people who carry traits for the disease, AS, or someone who has AS and someone who has SS. Typically, it's preferable that they do not get married because there's a high percentage that the children that they produce would also inherit, may become SS, which is the full-blown genotype of the disease. Okay. So it's typical that they don't get married. It's preferable, but everybody is free to make their choices.
I know. You can decide to go through. I mean, miracles do happen, right?
Yes, and people
but you are pro-science.
It's a personal.
We like to say it's a personal decision. Sure. So we'll give you the information and let you know what you may be going into. Give you the statistics, the probability of the crossing. Yeah. Then you know the risk that you are getting into. Then you make your decision based on that.
Okay. So what is it that you can't do? What can't you do? I mean, because activities, do you swim?
No, I don't.
You don't swim, but you can swim. It's not like you're
preferably in a heated pool.
In a heated pool, not a cold pool.
Very cold pool, yeah.
Okay. We've learned a lot. I have learned a lot, I must say. The program is coming on the 18th of June. This month, 18th of, that's on Saturday. Yes. That's on Saturday, but the Sickle Cell Day is on Sunday, which is the 19th. Yes. Go there, get tested. It's free. I mean, with the support of the Vodafone Foundation, they are doing it for free, and so you can go. You can also donate your blood. I mean, even if they test you, you won't get the report that very day, but it's important that you check. I don't know. I should probably check. Everybody should.
You should come.
I will be there. No, I'm enlightened. You've enlightened me a lot. So
it's at the Southern Area Blood Bank.
Where's that?
Kolebu.
At the Kolebu.
Yes.
Oh, Southern Area Blood Bank.
The main blood bank on the main road by the ECG.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's it. It's from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Okay. And there'll be lots of fun. There's food. Yes. There's games.
I'll be there.
It's a fun activity. So please do come. Let's get tested. Let's donate blood. Let's support people who have sickle cell disease. And have fun. You are getting... Dr. Vorodom is getting a lot of shouts on Twitter. Are you... Per second, right?
Yeah,
the per seconds are giving you a lot of shouts on Twitter. So he's heard all your shouts. I'll tell him, Manan, Chelpan, Yakubu, and all the other guys who are cheering him on. Yes, but be there Saturday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. There's fun activities. You get tested. You eat as well. Why not? Healthy food. I will be there. There's food.